So those are the components, right? Eat, sleep, and fit and workout. Right. So the most important of them is sleep. There's a real good book by Sean Stevenson called Sleep Smarter.
Right. Yeah.
It's a really, really good book. And that really convinced me that sleeping is the most important component out of all three.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I know it's important. So I've been training jiu-jitsu about 2.5 years. And the hardest part for me is my gas tank, my cardio, right?
Right.
And so one of my black belts called a professor. He was a coach back then. He was like, he told me his dad was a black belt, had the same problem. And he started taping his mouth shut.
Okay. Breathe through his nose.
Because like I'm a mouth breather, right? You know what I mean? And that's like sleep. It's all exacerbated. The problem is it's like you might be overweight. Like I got sleep apnea when I was probably a lot worse shape, like 12, 15 years ago, right? And then that kicks into one thing, you're snoring, and then you're like in the cycle.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've been trying to like tape my mouth. Sometimes it's like you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're like, get up to use the restroom, you just like rip it off. You don't even know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that the days that I've been able to make it through the full night, even 6 hours, it definitely feels different.
Yeah.
Because it's not, but again, it's not comfortable. Because when you want to like go to sleep, what's the most comfortable, like, let me ask you this. What's the most comfortable way to go to sleep for you? I'll tell you what mine is though.
The most comfortable way to go to sleep for me.
Or I'll give you an example of what I'm thinking about, and then it'll help you connect. My most comfortable way of going to sleep is getting a bowl of ice cream and then putting on some like mindless TV show that'll put me to sleep. Like there's a show on Netflix called Dubai Bling.
Dubai Bling, okay.
Yeah, something really dumb. But it's like you're eating junk and it's like your purpose. It's almost like sometimes you do it. It's like not, I'll be honest, I sometimes still do it. It'll be like, let's say it's been a crazy few weeks of work and it's a Friday or something. I get home late and I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired. I just want to like do that, right? That's when I'm comfortable going to sleep. It's probably terrible for you, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But I think the opposite of not comfortable is like, getting ready, doing your adhkar, taping your mouth shut and go, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting you said the word most comfortable because now the most comfortable way for me to go to sleep is when I'm already exhausted.
Okay.
And I just lay down and I just die, like go to sleep. My wife knows that. Although, because if I was to have my crumple cookies and some pralines and cream ice cream together, right, with the ice cream just a little melted.
That's your cheat meal?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of them. I mean, I have a number of them. Shit. We're not gonna hold back. I mean, carrot cake. Come on, man. Hold on, like you don't like carrot cake. Shit, come on, man. Yeah. So having that, it's comfortable at the moment, but my mind, because alhamdulillah, I've reached a point to where I think about the morning. Okay. So like when I go to sleep, how am I sleeping? Because it's gonna affect my morning. Me, it really affects my morning. So if I have like a burger at night, I'm waking up sluggish in the morning.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I lost an hour or two. Or man, I woke up with the sun on my face because I didn't make fajr on time, right? So it's like I really value, one thing that I really, really learned is your morning is going to be dependent on how you spent your night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that comfortability of the meal, I always ask myself, and I tell my students is, was it worth it? Was it worth it, man? You know what I'm saying?
But with that, do they have to almost have the next day mapped out for it to take effect?
That's a loaded word, mapped out, because sometimes when you're telling someone at the very beginning of their journey, or they just have an intention, they haven't even done anything like you mentioned.
Yeah.
When you say mapped out, they're thinking 5:30, okay. From 5:30 to 6, okay. From 6 to 6:30, I have to drink. No, it's like just make sure you wake up for Fajr and do some physical activity after Fajr if you're a morning person.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure that you're making use of your time in a way that's conducive to the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Firstly, what do you want to be? Right. What do you want? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then taking it slow from there.
But you said if they're a morning person. So are you accepting people to like wake up for Fajr and then go back to sleep?
No.
Okay. No, that's not on the table.
I don't push it, but at the same time, you got to know where people are at, because the main reason is the barakah in the morning. Yeah. Bukratan wa asila, right? As Allah mentions to sabbihu bukratan wa asila. So bukratan is basically in the morning. Some scholars say it's in the morning when the sun is rising, and then the atraf is in the evening, like right after Asr, right before Maghrib time. Right. So getting the barakah of that. And number two, a lot of people are asleep. So taking advantage of that and just going out and dealing with nature and going and working out. The gym usually not that full.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to go to your gym, and that's a time for you to discover yourself. Like working out alone. That's what I'm talking about. When you work out alone, especially when you're stressed, you discover yourself. You're working inward.
Right.
You're journeying inside of yourself. And those that know, and those that don't. Right. So I would say after Fajr, get a little something. But if at your level, if you're a night person, you find some people that are night people. All right. Start there. Start working out at night, right? But I don't know what your schedule's like. If you're a morning, you work in the morning,
right?
So you got to determine all that to kind of reach the optimal